Hello everyone, welcome to Durrett's Take. It's been a while. Hopefully y'all had a good, interesting week. I enjoyed having my football back. I'm looking forward to having more football. I've also been enjoying the NBA playoffs recently. I want to start off with that first. Um, so I'm still going to give away my summary or my prediction about a series. So for the Celtics and Heat series, the way to describe that series in one phrase, it's all about the benches. We already know what the starters can do for both teams, so that will so it would come down to the benches. The Celtics bench impressed me against Toronto. Not going to lie there, but I do think Miami's bench will prevail. Here are the top 5 bench players for each team. For the Celtics, you have Brad Wanamaker, Robert Williams, Grant Williams, Enes Kanter, and Carson Edwards. That's their top 5 bench. Big scoring. Mark Smart would be on there as the 6-man, but Gordon Hayward was out, so he's in the starting lineup. Just to remind people there. And then for Miami, you have Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Andre Iguodala, Killian Olynyk, and Myers Leonard. Are you going to sit there with a straight face and tell me that the Celtics bench here is better or will outperform the Miami bench? If you are, either a Celtics lover or a Miami hater. Even though the people like the Celtics to win the series, whether Gordon Hayward returns this series or not, Miami should win the series. Unlike Toronto, multiple reasons why. Unlike Toronto, Miami has a deep bench. Toronto going like 7 men deep, basically. Unlike Toronto, Miami has a proven go-get-his-own-shot two-way type of player in the clutch moment in the playoffs in Butler. And also, Miami has a coach in Eric Spoelstra who's won 2 championships, not just one, like Nick Nurse, but 2, and also made it 4 finals. So he has more of that experience. So, versus Brad Stevens, where he's only been to 2 conference finals now. So I think Miami will win this one in 6 games, maybe 7. The Miami should win. Okay, Lakers versus Clippers. Winner of Clippers and Nuggets. Cause for concern? Question mark. I must say, Clippers are starting to concern me, as they are to a lot of people. They went to Game 6 with the Dallas team, that they were lucky enough to win that series with KP being ejected in the first game because the show lost the first game, and then he'd be eventually out for the series, so the Clippers are able to take care of business. But Young Denver team has hung around this whole time. They're up 3-1 now. Denver might come all the way back to wins, though. I'm very worried and concerned for the Clippers. The Lakers, though, after losing both of their game ones, they turn on that switch and win the rest of their games, and that's what concerns me. The Clippers and Nuggets both kind of wait too long to turn on that switch, and sometimes they turn it off. And whoever wins the series, if they turn on their switch against the Lakers, but then turn it off, or if they wait even too long to turn it on, then LeBron's going to take advantage of that, and the Lakers are going to win automatically. So that's something for whoever wins the series, it's something for them to work on them, because they're both very talented. Okay, so now moving on to football. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go over my one-phrase summary for each of the NFL games we had this past weekend. So let's get started. Houston versus Kansas City. Chiefs got better. This was a game where Kansas City ran the ball more in the pass, which surprised me because usually Kansas City is a passing type of team. They have what people are saying is the best running back to come out of college this past draft. Then Houston took the deep ball away and made Mahomes do the intermediate throws, which Mahomes did just fine with. So now with those elements, it's going to be hard to stop the Chiefs this year on offense. If the Chiefs get stopped, it's because of their defense, which is, they performed pretty well against Houston, but definitely room for improvement there. Colts versus Jags. The river is dry. I thought Rivers behind a good offensive line and adding new weapons to the offense would make Indy more of a threat. But so far, it's not the case. Jacksonville is a team that's tanking. Jacksonville should not have won, but bad loss. And if you're Houston and Tennessee, especially Tennessee right now, since you won last night, your chances of making the playoffs just got higher. Seahawks versus Falcons. Wilson is enough. Everyone says the O-line and the D-line sucks. Everyone! But the reason why I had Seattle in the playoffs and going far is because with a great quarterback like Russell Wilson, you're instantly a contender. Why do we say Green Bay were contenders all these years when they had a bad defense? It's because of their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. So having a good enough head coach helps as well, which Aaron Rodgers had as well. So now, lay off the Seattle haterade for now for all the people who are saying, oh, Seattle's not going to be the playoffs because of this. It's like, hey, lay off the haterade. Russell Wilson's there. They're going to be just fine. Jets versus Bills. Not much of a takeaway. I mean, the Jets already knew coming in this year are going to suck. So the Bills won by two possessions. That's what they're supposed to do against the Jets. I mean, maybe you could say they should have won by more, because if the Bills would have won by 30, or if it was just 3, then you have something to talk about. But it's just like they won by 2 possessions. That's good. Call it good. Not much to take away there. Bears versus Lions. Trubisky got lucky. If I'm a Bears fan, I'm more worried after that game. They were down by 3 possessions in the fourth against a bad team in Detroit. I know some people were going to be like, oh, watch out for Detroit. No, Detroit's a bad team. And they had to come back, and they almost blew it if the Detroit receiver would have caught the pass. But Detroit, by the end of the game, had 3 defensive starters out as well, which maybe that's the reason why Trubisky started performing better. But if you're a Bears fan, if you think you can get off to a bad start against a team like Green Bay and score 21 points in the fourth to catch up with them, you're sadly mistaken. Chicago is a mediocre team right now. No ifs, buts about it. Packers versus Vikings. Rodgers ain't done yet. I did not see this coming. For people who thought Minnesota would win the division this year, think again. Green Bay is still the best. If Rodgers continues to play this at his age, no chance for the other division teams. Dolphins versus Patriots. Hold the press. People are going to overreact to this game. Good for Cam not getting injured and performing well. I predicted the Patriots to win this game. It's Miami. What do you expect? They're rebuilding. Now, I think Miami will be improved from last year, but they're still not going to be like a playoff team or anything like that. They're, like I said, they're rebuilding mode. They're not even going to start 2 over some of the games. Once 2 becomes a full-time starter, then things might change. But right now, they're just kind of Now, if Patriots can have success against Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo, then we can talk. But we can't. I'm not going to jump on the Patriots bandwagon right now. Dolphins are an easy team to beat. The Patriots now have to go to Seattle this Sunday night. So yeah, good luck there. Eagles versus the Washington football team. A win for Rivera. Rivera has some people now are going through cancer problems in the team in the second half. You can tell, just really played for him. Dwayne Haskins took over as leader, and he encouraged him, let's play. And the Eagles and the defensive line for Washington really got after the Eagles O-line. And the Eagles O-line may be an issue going forward. We shall see. Raiders versus Panthers. Vegas provided fireworks. Carolina played good offense, but Las Vegas had an outstanding offensive game. Now, Carolina is rebuilding and not that great of a defense. But I thought Las Vegas being a mediocre team. I mean, about Carolina being a mediocre team. While Las Vegas, I wasn't high on having just like 4 wins or so. But if Vegas can keep this up, maybe I have to change my team. Browns versus Ravens. Browns aren't that bad. Ravens are that good. Lamar looks like his MVP self. The defense is better than last year, despite losing Earl Thomas, which means more trouble for the opposing teams. If the Browns look like this against the Jets or something, or even the Bengals this Thursday night, then we can hit the panic button on them. But while most people didn't expect to blow out, it's the first game. Let's just see how this plays out. I'm not going to press the panic button yet. Chargers versus Bengals. Not bad for a rookie. Joe Burrow scored a rushing touchdown and played good enough against the top 10 defense in the league. He led them down for a time field goal before the kicker choked. So it could have gone to overtime, and who knows what would have happened. So if Burrow continues to play like this, he will get some upsets this year. I like the way he played. Bucks versus Saints. Came down to blocking. When Breeze had a lot of time to pass, the Saints had success, and he looked fine. When he didn't, he looked flustered and looked like he should have been retired. Same with Tom Brady. Bucks, I knew their O-line was going to be better, but still in an improvement type of mode. I'm shocked that the Saints O-line struggled, though, even though Tampa Bay blitzes a lot. So for both teams, if their O-line continues to struggle, then it's going to be a long shot to win the Super Bowl. Simple as that. Cardinals versus 49ers. don't hit the panic button yet. San Francisco had a few injuries going into the game, including a wide receiver, so I'm not going to make a big deal of the 49ers loss, especially since Arizona is going to be better this year. Now, if the 49ers start the season like 2-3 or something, like for example, the 49ers play the Jets, if they're to lose there, then you can hit the panic button. Cowboys versus Rams. Controversy, question mark. I thought it was not an offensive pass interference. Jalen Ramsey flopped like a basketball player, in my opinion. Even if he did nudge him, you can't. Then you have to call it 50-50 because Ramsey, like I said, did flop. I hate when refs decide an outcome of the game. Let them play on, in my opinion, if it's 50-50. But Cowboys had a few other things that they should have done to win the game. Like, for example, gone for the field goal instead of going on 4th and 3. Or, if you are going to go 4th and 3, make sure if you're CeeDee Lamb, that when you catch the ball, you're already past the first down marker. You got to have better field awareness there. That's your problem. That CeeDee Lamb, you got to pick that. I know you're a rookie, but you got to fix that. Now, if the Cowboys lose this upcoming Sunday, then it's a cause for concern because then they're going to go Seattle and probably go with 3. So, if the Cowboys really need to beat Atlanta this weekend. Steelers versus Giants. Danny Dimes, question mark? More like Danny Turnovers. I'm tired of the nickname Danny Dimes. He threw 2 costly interceptions and was the reason why they lost the game. Surprisingly, it was not the head coach's fault, Joe Judge. It was not Jason Garrett's fault, the clapper. It was not his. Saquon Barkley was getting stuffed and barely had any rushing yards, but he did help on the receiving end, did the best he could against a really good Pittsburgh defense. But, I mean, Danny Dimes, he has limitations. I mean, I would say at this point he's probably a little bit better than Baker Mayfield, but it's like he has limitations. Let's call it like we see it. He has to be perfect without turnovers in order for Giants to really have success at this point. And until his turnovers is a good result, the Giants are going to go for it, plain and simple. Titans versus Broncos. All you need is one. A kicker who usually makes kicks missed 3 field goals and extra point last night. Despite all of that, though, he makes the last one. And it's all good because Tennessee still wins. If I'm a Broncos fan, you had 3 major injuries, but still had a good chance to win at the end. But if I'm a Broncos fan, I'll be mad right now. I understand being aggressive, but they should have passed it. They should not have passed it on 1st down, in my opinion. They should have clock, and then if they had to pass on 3rd down, because it was 3rd and long, then they can do that. But they should have passed on 1st down. Tennessee was going to go for a touchdown, so on the other round of defense, I don't know why the head coach wasn't using his timeouts. That still bewilders me. So, still a young team and young coach with important people out. So that's why I kind of changed my mind right before the season started, having Denver make the playoffs. They're going to be on the bubble, if you will. And now playing at Pittsburgh next week ain't going to be easier for the Broncos. So something I'll do later in my next show is I forgot to go over my game by game predictions for this first week, and I'll do so for next week. But I would say, I mean, obviously there's a few upsets, so I wasn't perfect, but I feel like I did pretty well. I was definitely wrong on the Minnesota pick, but other than that, it's like I was wrong in Carolina, Indianapolis, and San Francisco, which everyone was wrong about, Dallas, and Denver. So I had about 6 wrong. So I was almost 50-50, so hopefully next week goes better. I can't wait to go over my predictions on Thursday and talk some more NBA playoffs, as well as talk some more college football as well, because there's a lot of college football news, but I don't have time today. So I'll probably do my next episode tomorrow, if not Thursday. Thank you very much for listening to my show today. Please subscribe to my channel, let everyone know about me. Thank you very much. Y'all have a wonderful day.